Arian lived in a village hidden deep within a valley. No one ever left, no one ever came. Arian dreamed of the world outside. He longed for adventure.
Each day, I would climb the highest hill and stare at the distant mountains. What lay beyond? I yearned to know.
One day, a stranger arrived. He was a sailor with a patched eye and a crooked smile. The sailor spoke of a grand voyage. He told tales of faraway lands and incredible treasures.
I was captivated. I knew I had to leave the village. I had to see the world for myself.
The sailor's ship was a magnificent sight. It was called the Wanderer, and it was as if it had sailed straight out of Arian's dreams. The ship was old but strong. Its sails were patched and worn, but they billowed proudly in the wind.
We can offer you a place on the voyage, Arian. Adventure beyond your wildest dreams awaits.
Arian didn't hesitate. He packed a small bag. He said goodbye to his family. They didn't understand, but he had to go. With a lump in his throat and a heart full of excitement, Arian stepped onto the ship. He was ready to begin his adventure. The moment Arian stepped onto the deck, he felt different. He was no longer just a village boy. He was a sailor, an adventurer. The crew was a rough bunch. They were men of the sea with weathered faces and hands calloused from years of hard work. They eyed Arian with curiosity, but they welcomed him aboard.
Welcome aboard, lad. We'll teach you the ways of the sea.
Arian learned to tie knots, hoist sails, and scrub the deck. He loved every minute of it. The work was hard, but the thrill of being at sea, the wind in his hair and the salt spray on his face made it all worthwhile. Each day they sailed further and further away from the village. Arian felt free. Days turned into weeks. The ship sailed on, guided by the stars and the captain's intuition. Arian learned the rhythm of the sea. He made friends with the crew. He even learned to read the constellations, but there was something strange about the voyage. The captain was secretive. He never spoke about their destination. He would spend hours studying an old, leather-bound map.
This map, it holds the key.
His brow furrowed with worry. The crew whispered amongst themselves. They spoke of legends and myths. They spoke of a place where ships vanished without a trace. They spoke of the Bermuda Triangle. One day, the sky turned a sickly green. The wind howled like a banshee. The sea churned and raged. A storm was coming, the likes of which Arian had never seen. The crew scrambled to batten down the hatches. Fear was etched on their faces. The captain's face was grim.
The Bermuda Triangle.
He roared over the wind. Arian felt a chill run down his spine. The ship creaked and groaned. Waves crashed over the deck. The storm raged for what felt like an eternity. Arian clung to the mast for dear life. He'd never been so scared. When the storm finally subsided, the ship was a wreck. But that wasn't the worst of it. Some of the crew were gone, vanished without a trace. The remaining crew were terrified. They muttered about curses and sea monsters.
We have to turn back, Captain.
They begged the captain to turn back, but the captain refused. He seemed more determined than ever. Arian knew something was wrong. This was no ordinary voyage. This was something far more sinister.
I need to find out the truth.
He decided to take matters into his own hands. Late one night, while the captain slept, Arian snuck into his quarters. He found the map. It was ancient, its edges frayed and torn. It depicted strange symbols and markings. Arian studied the map, his heart pounding. He recognized the shape of the Bermuda Triangle.
But what's this? An island in the center? That can't be right.
At that moment, the captain stumbled in, his eyes bloodshot. He saw Arian with the map. A look of pure rage crossed his face. Arian knew he was in trouble. The captain confessed. He told Arian the truth. The voyage was no treasure hunt, it was a pilgrimage. For centuries, sailors had been lured to the Bermuda Triangle. They were drawn by the promise of immortality.
The island on the map, it holds an ancient secret. It's a portal to another world.
The vanished crewmen, they weren't dead, they had passed through, they were gone forever. Arian was horrified.
I don't want immortality, I want to go home.
He confronted the captain. He told him he had to turn back. The captain just laughed.
It's too late, we're already at the island.
Arian had a choice to make.